Looks like I had to make another video. And this is the audio for that segment. So I'm writing this because, a couple of weeks ago, a man lost his life. Man who shall go unnamed, but we all know who he is. He was living his life, and all of a sudden, it was over. Someone murdered him in front of a bunch of people who were filming the whole thing. And part of me wishes that these people filming this would have just bum rushed the guys that were murdering him, just taking it into their hands. But be that as it may, they did not do this. And I'm not blaming them. A lot of people feel a certain way when they see someone in a uniform, especially a figure of authority. We're taught from an early age to obey these people and what they represent. So this guy lost his life. He was killed in front of a audience that included the entire planet and shit, basically. And he has unwittingly become a martyr, a symbol for something greater. At least that was the original thought, as a number of violent protests raged across the planet. And when I say that, I would like to say that most of these protests were carried out, the violence and the upheaval and the disruption were carried out by agents of chaos, not the people that were upset about the man's actual death. And we've just had nothing but mess since that happened. But some good has come of it, and mostly we've fallen prey to people's agendas. And I hate to be vague about it. I'm not really a vague person, but I think that something needs to be said about this. And what I'm upset about is that as a black man, we're worth more dead than alive. That's what the world at large seems to be telling us. As this guy has become a symbol worldwide. There's murals to him over in the Middle East and other parts of the world. There's violent protests going on in the UK. And I don't have a problem with this, if it's actual black people doing it. But a lot of it is just noise, white noise, get my drift. And a lot of people are trying to get something out of this. So yeah, I have a problem. A lot of people been, I think get the impression that it was co-opted right after it began. From the initial protests, these agents came in and they just infiltrated and they subtly steered the movement elsewhere. Regardless of what gains we have, it's still the same result. A lot of people are yelling a certain mantra. That mantra's Black Lives Matter. Yeah, a lot of people yelling that Black Lives Matter. I don't know, like, what majority of people actually believe that's in the crowd of people doing this, but it's just a mess. You know, and I've recently found out that millions and millions of dollars have been raised in this deceased man's name, money he'll never see. I don't know if his children or his family will see this money, but that money will disappear into somebody's coffers somewhere. And no one will be smart enough to try to find out where that money went or who's responsible for it. See, I hear Black Lives Matters, but I don't see definitive leaders of this movement. When I look it up on Wikipedia, they list 3 founders and not much else and whatnot. They don't have any organization. So where's the money going? And what is that money going to be used for? Is it really going to be used to help Black lives? I know a lot of people are in jail, arrested by the cops during this conflagration. A lot of people have been injured and put hospitalized. Is any of that money going to go to them? You know, there's a lot of things you can do if you actually care about Black Lives Matter. There's a guy in jail. I think he's in Ohio. He's in jail for not even raping anyone. He's in jail for like just an implied rape that has been proven not to have taken a case. He's still in there. Is any money that Black Lives money going to go over there? Are they helping any black people? It's just a mess. And the media's lashed onto it because they want to misdirect the movement. and they want to try to use this to take control of it and turn it into something else, and also to garner votes for the upcoming election. And as I've said before, I am not voting for the foreseeable future because of this things like this. I find it offensive. If anyone else wants to vote, I won't hold you to it, man. But you're just rewarding people for spitting in your face for generations. Black lives do matter. Okay, it's not a fucking movement. It's not some nonprofit organization and whatnot. Those people do not represent us. They don't. They don't represent the man that passed away. The man lost his life because he went to a convenience store. Yeah, that was a murder. Okay, and I don't even hear anyone talking about like the murder or whatnot. The guy was charged with his charges were upgraded. The murderer, the psychotic maniac that killed this guy and inflamed the planet. No one's talking about upgrading him to just capital murder, which is what it was. Nobody's, nobody's doing that. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. It's just sad and fucked up that a guy had to die, and he's worth more in death than alive and shit, apparently. It's worth over $25 million. Where is that money going? I really want to know, where's that money going? Who has custody of that money? Who has license to use that money, and for what? Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. And we need to call up Black Lives Matter or in all their chapters, wherever they exist, all across this country and wherever else they are, and call them and ask them about these funds raised. Or, someone needs to file a class action to pursue the money and where it went. Because we need to know. We need to put a face to this. I don't care how the media spins it, whatnot. They're going to do what they want to do because they think they're going to get black people to vote for Joe Biden. And that shit ain't happening. I mean, if all this stupidity, all this dumb shit that's happened, if Trump can't get out of office from this, man, just leave the motherfucker alone. Just leave him in there. Okay? He ain't doing nothing. He's helping black people by being such an asshole, but doing such a bang up job and shit. He's bringing us closer together, man. And the guy that was in there before him, he did everything in his power to split us up. And that shit is lingering in the Democratic Party. It's a festering cancer, that has fucked up our community. And people are just getting tired of it and shit. And they finally got a face to put to it because you got all these assholes, these entitled politicians telling us they ain't going to give us shit and we still going to vote for them. Well, I know for one, I will not have a guilty conscience because I am not voting for the motherfuckers. I'm not voting. I'm not voting, man. I've been listening to a lot of different people. And when they say a certain thing, I just shut down. They have a right to their opinion, their disagreement and whatnot. But for me personally, no, I can't vote for that shit. I'm going to try to survive this shit best I can and just deal with it and shit. I'm just tired of all this bullshit. I'm tired of the subterfuge and everything, but I seem to be stuck in it, man, because the majority at large, they want us to be stuck in here with them in this fucking toilet bowl. Black Lives Matter. Okay? That shouldn't be a fucking nonprofit group or a bunch of people saying it, like merchandise and websites and shit. And then, it's called Black Lives Matter. And then they're talking about alphabet community politics and shit, and referring to straight people as a cis. I'm going to reiterate, cis is a derogative term that if I hear some alternative person saying that to me, we're going to come to words about it, if not more. That is a racially insensitive remark, a gender insensitive remark, since we're in the future. I will not be called a cis. Okay? If they want to call me a cis, man, I need to think of a 3-letter word that I can retort with, but I won't do that. But if anyone determines to use that derogative term, cis, against me or in my presence, I will correct them. Black Lives Matter is supposed to be for black people. Black people only. Now, all these other fucking people, they need to come up with some evidence of 400 years or more of, racial injustice. That's the clean version of it. Racism and murder and stealing and raping. That's the reality of the situation. This is what we're born of. Okay. A lot of people don't want to hear that, especially the majority people. They get really pissed when you start talking about this, and they get bent out of shape because deep down they know it's true. It's true. It's the guilt fucking with you. That's not the whole thing. Black Lives Matter, man. I just got triggered and shit. Hate using that word. Got to find me some new words to use. But they put like over in Hollywood Boulevard in California, they thought they were slick. They wrote all Black Lives Matter along Hollywood Boulevard, but they wrote it in multicolors. So just virtue signaling. I'm tired of being stuck in this country between these dueling retarded ideologies and shit of the supposed left and the supposed right. It seems like the right has their shit together more than the left, it would seem, because the left is just tone deaf and offensive on a level I can't even describe. And the right is just, hey, it's the good old boys. We know those racists. Hey, racists, we know who you are. We're not following your ass, and we're not following fucking Democrats. So we're just stuck in the toilet bowl. We're stuck in the cookie jar with you bitches. And I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of this Black Lives Matter uh, alphabet community bullshit. I don't want to be hijacked and shit. They're making a dime off of a dead man who's been laid to rest recently, thankfully. But he can't get any peace, man, because people are making money off of him. They're not doing him a service or nothing. He was a black man. He got caught up in a situation that was out of his control, and he was murdered. And now you got a bunch of assholes who couldn't give two shits about him making millions of dollars, and nobody's even talking about where that money's going. So, there's supposed to be some kind of new term to get away from Black Lives Matter, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But I adhere to it as shit. I say Black Lives Matter, okay? And we need to find out who these fucking people are and reveal them to the public. We need to know the face behind Black Lives Matter, okay? A lot of people are saying certain names, but I want definitive proof of anybody representing this shit. I went and looked it up, and I saw 3 females, and I saw one goofy looking male. And I'm like, who the fuck is? I didn't even see Sean King. I think he stepped down or something. Smartly enough, he got out there for somebody going to put a foot up his ass. Black Lives Matter does not represent black people. It's a bunch of bullshit, and it's misdirection. And no one's really falling for it. Black people don't control shit. They're going. What we're doing this year is we're just sitting on our hands because we don't have a candidate or we don't have anything to vote for. They signed civil rights bill for the alphabet community and shit for the most part. And I'm just offended, man. I'm offended by the left because they want to come into our houses like they did in the '60s and just mess everything up even further. Like, how much worse can you fuck it up and shit? Must we be all the kids in the future be walking around with no clothes on their hands and knees, unable to even know how to walk or anything? They haven't done anything in our communities and shit. Yet you'll give them your fucking vote, and you'll allow these people to come in and fuck up the community and shit. And I'm not just talking about the regular, race soldiers and all that bullshit. I'm talking about the assholes. A lot of these assholes look like you, the pseudo intellectuals and the shit talkers, and the people on the fucking CNN and all that. They don't know shit. They're just armchair pundits. I can sit on my ass and talk too, but ain't nobody gonna give me hundreds of thousands of dollars run my fucking mouth. I try to keep my shit together, man. But I am tired of agitators. I think they should be treated accordingly. They should be tarred and feathered and put on a horse backwards and ran out of town. You know, they need to be ran out of town. I regretted seeing the anarchists that were amongst the protesters writing Black Lives Matter on everything and handing out bricks to people, trying to get our young black men to throw these bricks so they can get shot and everything. Nobody thought to mob these people that were doing this and remove their disguises to show who they were to the camera. Nobody thought that. They were taking the bricks away and filming them and stuff, doing the shit. But they weren't going far enough. I thought like maybe you should take their disguise off, just snatch their disguise off and film them up close to show who it is. Like, look, this is the person doing this shit. It's not a black person. It's not black people, but we're an easy target because a lot of racists are just idiots. Yeah, some fucking idiots, man. Look, that guy is darker than me. He's a black color. For some reason they don't do this shit. Like Indian people, they don't really fuck with that much and shit unless no black people around. They don't. You be darker than us and shit. A lot of them. They don't fuck with them. They just fuck with black people because they're morons. Look at that guy. It's a black guy. Look at it. We gotta attack him. Yeah. So be that as it may, I don't want to be a human commodity walking around and shit until now I want nobody to collect on me, which means putting a bullet in my ass. I want to die and shit, and then some motherfucker using my image, to make money. Look how they did to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and shit. You know, yeah, especially Malcolm X and shit in the late '80s, early '90s. Thanks to Spike Lee's, shyster ass, fucking critic. It's a fucking jigger, man. I'm gonna get on him later. Yeah, this guy, he lost his life, man. He just went to the store. If you can go back in time and shit and tell him, hey, man, your death will cause a huge movement that would engulf the planet like Phoenix fire. What did he think? Would he still go to that store that day? If he knew he was gonna beforehand, he's gonna lose his life. Some psycho, some maniac and shit, a fucking creature, a non-human would take his life away from him. You think he would still go to that store, even if he knew that him doing that would cause a radical change supposedly across the planet and shit? I don't know. When it's all said and done, the Black Lives Matter are gonna get their LGBTQ whatever politics and shit, and they're still gonna be offensive, racially offensive to actual black people and shit. And I'm gonna have to see more Billy Porter Instagram videos where he's trying to shame black men for not wanting his monkey ass, not wanting gonna get shamed because, I have a son and I don't want my son to be taking alphabet community studies and shit before he's of age. They want your kids to see this shit when they're like in Head Start. They want to bring a trans person into the class, and I don't care if the now I want to be clear. Now, if there's a trans person that's a teacher, that's an actual teacher teaching things, I don't have a problem with that. It's cool. I accept them as part of our society and shit, and that should be enough. But it isn't. They want to invade your space. They want to turn you into racist. I gotta endure more griot articles about how black men are the Klansmen of the community, of the ethnic community, which is all bullshit. We're the martyrs. We're walking currency. Once we shoot one of us, people start divvying up the courts like they did with Ebenezer Scrooge and shit, man. It's getting tired of this shit. Black men, we gotta fight for our survival because people are trying to kill us. We're an endangered species and shit. We should be put on that fucking registry and shit as an endangered species and shit because these fuckers are trying to kill us. We gotta fight, man. You gotta fight, man. If you gotta be a criminal, you gotta be a fucking criminal, man. Because the minute you die, a bunch of scavengers are gonna come and start feasting on your corpse, which is what they're doing to this poor man that lost his life a couple weeks ago. They treat him like shit. His memory, he deserves to rest in peace. I hope in my hearts of hearts that this man is resting in peace. I don't care what they say about him to disparage him, all the different, you know, voices coming out of everywhere, out of that. And people talking out their ass every day. But it just kind of touches me that this man, just going to the store, got murdered, and then you got a bunch of assholes making money off his corpse in the name of black people. Black Lives Matters, right? Now, I guess I'm supposed to say Black Lives Matters my ass, or they can kiss my ass, or something like that. So it's a non sequitur. It's like it's the shit they do nowadays. They use a black person as a human shield and as morbid currency to make dollar, to make coin and shit. Telling you, they've found a way to group themselves with us. And if we were to extract ourselves from the alphabet community situation and shit, they'll cast us as racist. And I'm okay with that, but not enough people have the balls to do that because no one wants to be called that and shit. I don't care about the mainstream community of the others, the people with all the shit. I don't care about their situation. I care about our situation. We're black men and we're an endangered species. I don't care what we if we're a thug or anything. I don't care about this shit. They created the situation that made the different stereotypes, the different categories and shit. Did this shit, and then they want to complain about it. Like you made your problem, you deal with it and shit. And if you're gonna shoot somebody, you can't even go in the fucking jungle and just shoot an animal and shit. If the animal sees your ass, he's gonna run away. He's gonna fuck you up. So same rules apply here in the urban jungle and shit. Black dudes, you gotta be thinking about your survival at all costs, even when you in your house. When you land out, you just can't deal with the shit. You know, you got to be walking around with a fucking video camera. Like people are gonna have to start wearing like body cams just walking up and down the street and shit. That's what it's become to. And I don't give a fuck about any law saying like, oh, you can't film the cops and you can't do. No, that's all bullshit. Do what you got to do to survive, man. No matter what, man, because it's a shooting gallery. I don't care about the racists. I know a bunch of white supremacists are out there planning to kill us and doing a bunch of stuff right now. They're doing a lot of virtue signaling, and we see that shit. We understand what it is. And you motherfuckers are doing that shit on the fringes of society and shit. You're not going into urban centers doing it and shit unless you got ultimate backup and you know you got a weak target and shit. So you're pussies. Be that as it may, Black Lives Matter. I don't care about all lives matter or blue lives matter or any other bullshit matters. Our lives matter because for centuries they've been murdering us and mutilating us and raping us and trying to change us into some shit and trying to make us manageable and shit and trying to get us to be slave labor and shit, in jail or not in jail and shit, and all these goddamn dead end jobs and all this other shit, you know? And they got the nerve to disparage you while they doing all this fucked up shit to you. And then they mad because you angry about it. Now what the fuck are you supposed to do? What would that guy do who lost his life and shit? And if it was somebody else and he was looking at all this, what would his opinion be? Maybe it'd just be simply walking out there and protest with everyone else and shit, you know? Even probably knowing that doing that is putting his life in danger. Every time we come out in society, they put us in danger. They done fucked us up on the inside and outside. And for that, we want our reparations and shit, okay? We need motherfucking reparations. We need money. We want the check. Just sign the motherfucking check and shut up. Don't ask us what we're doing with our money or nothing. Just give it to us. We will fix your fucking shitty shithole country post haste. But you guys are so limited and unable to evolve and still retarded because look, there's a black guy that you can't see the truth of the matter and shit. The stimulus for the black community and shit will fix America. Okay? I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear anybody's numbers or any of their thoughts on the matter. It's just truth. We inform your society. It's built on us. It's built on the bones of our ancestors and the blood and shit. And the blue of the Dred Scott. You know what the white stands for? Black Lives Matter. What do they fucking stand for, huh? What are they gonna do with all that goddamn money? Where's that money going? Where's the 25 million upwards of dollars going? I've been seeing all these corporate guys talking about pledging 10 million, 3 million to Black Lives Matter and other organizations. And where's this fucking money going? Where the fuck is the money? How are we tracking the money? We got to find out where that money goes and who's got their hands on it. And when we do, they're going to be accountable and shit because they need to take that money and use it to help actual black people and shit. Help some of these people. Their family got messed up. Do legal aid. Get lawyers to help people get out of jail and shit. I think when we find out who the fuck's in charge of Black Lives Matters, we need to send them a list of people they can help, like black people they can help that's in jail. And then otherwise, they got fucked up, got shot, and in the hospital. They got medical bills from this shit, from all this fighting and stuff. They can help us out. They can help some of these brothers that's in jail on these trumped up charges. Maybe they can get some fucking lawyers to go deal with some of this illegal injustice shit we got here. Maybe they can lobby the Supreme Court to, take away qualified immunity. There's a lot of shit you can do. Fuck Black Lives Matter in their public face and shit. Because it's not our face. It's not representing actual black people in this country and shit. And we ain't standing for it. I know I'm not. I can speak for myself. If anybody else is happy just going back to sleep and shit, getting in the coffin with the rest of these motherfuckers, then go right ahead and shit. And it can't stop you, man. It's America, supposedly a free country. So, fuck. Rest in power, my brother. I won't say your name because I respect the dead and they should be allowed to rest in peace. And I hope that when my time comes, whenever that may be, that someone will do me that courtesy and shit. But be that as it may, Black Lives Matter, kiss my ass.